In this episode, we continue our 4 meals for 4 people for $40 series and are focusing on EPCOT. Today's January 3rd, 2025, and this is episode 734 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Want to get a free Disney e-gift card up to $250? Book a qualifying Walt Disney World or Disneyland room or package through our preferred travel partner, MEI-Travel, and get a Disney e-gift card valued up to $250. This offer is valid for bookings made between January 2nd and February 28th, 2025 for travel check-in dates through August 31st, 2025. Certain restrictions apply. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So we are 3 days into January 2025. How's your 2025 treating you so far?
Been wonderful, actually. It's been very good. How about you?
Yeah, I worked.
Yep.
Made some money. So started out the new year right. And then
Best way to do it.
You cooked all day and we had our traditional food and friends that we always now started doing every year.
Now, for folks that do not know what you're talking about, what is traditional New Year's food? Whose tradition, first of all?
Southern people.
Southern people.
I think.
And what is the tradition? What is the traditional food?
Pork, collard greens, black-eyed peas, and cornbread.
Yeah.
And I don't know which.
I think it's pork is for prosperity.
I'm like, I don't. Okay, you know more. I just remember
I might be
it was
off.
like
Greens are money.
Black-eyed peas, health or luck.
Might be health or luck. I can't remember if that's health or luck. And then cornbread is like the opposite or whatever. There's some Southern grandma screaming at her.
Oh, I know.
Earphones. They probably don't wear earphones. Listening on an old-timey radio. Yeah. But anyway, I do it every New Year's for the most part. And last year, after a rough couple years with 2020 and so forth, last year I was like, you know what? Forget this. It hasn't worked the past couple years. I'm not making anything. I remember what happened, but the first week was awful last year.
But I remember you did make it. Like
I did,
I think
after
you did.
A week.
Yeah.
and I mean, not that last year was bad. I mean, for me, on a personal level, it was the hardest year of my entire life. Like I told Rhonda, I'd rather relive 2020 than 2024 again.
But you did it, and I'm so proud of you.
I did.
Like,
so I'll be sober 1 year, March 10th coming up.
And I feel like you've gotten through everything that now every time it comes around, it should be easier, maybe.
Yeah, it was like the first for everything. And I was saying to Rhonda yesterday or whenever it was like, I made it. I made it through all the holidays. Mm-hmm. Like I made it through the major, drinking moments, not only for normally the world in the U.S., because the U.S. probably has more drinking holidays than anybody. And so getting through all of them from like now just coming through New Year's, but back on Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Labor Day, Memorial Day. I mean, for me, it was usually any day that ended in like Y, but all those special days, a lot of excuses for people throughout the United States to drink throughout the world. Many of those can do it responsibly, which is wonderful. Of course, I never could, so I got sober, but I made it through all of those. So even though my official year isn't for another 2 months, like it feels like I already did it. Like I could almost just be like, all right, this is it. The year is done.
And again, I'm so proud of you. So Everything should be easier moving forward. And speaking of moving forward,
Yes.
let's talk about today's episode.
Yes.
If you go back to episode 720, we talk about the Magic Kingdom park for $40.
Yeah. So and it's been a little while. I mean, when the holidays came, we had all these trips. We had back to back trips. So we had all these episodes. So it's been a little time since we did the first in this series. But I had people asking, like, "Are you still gonna do it?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, it's coming back as soon as the new year is." So we're excited to get and talk about EPCOT.
Yeah.
If you did not listen to 720, go ahead and go back and listen.
Yeah.
But you might not do it till after this episode. So the premise is, we find 4 meals for 4 people for $40. Right?
Yeah.
We're going to go through each
four.
of the parks. So, and then in this one, because last time we didn't do it, we're going to do a bonus at the end. We're going to actually do a table service restaurant.
And we're just going to double it.
Yeah, so $80
Give us
is
$80.
your budget.
Yep.
So, so that's how we're going to do this one. And of course, all these episodes are about saving money, but also like getting the best bang for your buck.
Yes.
Because you could certainly save money on dining by just saying everybody eat less or something. You know what I mean? You could be like, you know what? We're not eating breakfast. We're sharing every meal, and but that doesn't mean that everybody's going to be fulfilled, right? So you want to really look for both value and cost. Fulfilled.
No, I think you said fulfilled.
Oh,
I think it's fulfilled.
Yeah,
I think
you are full. We'll just say you are filled with fullness. So that's something that we look at here too. Some of the things you can look at, for example, then with this whole thing, in almost every instance of what we picked out, share meals, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What else?
Well, consider bringing breakfast on your own to eat in the room, and whether it be you get from vacation grocery delivery, or like some people like eat bars and little things like that.
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of stuff that if you're flying, you could bring in your luggage. Things like those types of bars, Nutri-Bars, whatever for the morning. We recommend you can get things like oatmeal packets and the little cup of soup oatmeals. I don't know what to call them. They're in like their own, pre-portion. And you stick that under the coffee maker and you just don't put coffee in it, obviously. And all you do is run water through it.
Yep.
It's going to heat it up. Yep. You can have breakfast, whatever you need,
you can also
right there in your room.
Cup of soup, literally.
Yeah, and you can do cup of soup. Yes.
So.
You can do that. You can, again, drinks. We don't price out drinks for these.
No, we don't.
Because, if you are saving money, then most likely you have some sort of alcohol budget if you drink, right?
Right.
So that's one reason that we're not, because that'd be the only reason to buy, I feel like, a beverage if it's not something special at a quick service. I don't think there's any reason to buy a soda or water. You can bring those in. You can ask for a cup of ice, or that's just what you do, right? So, and you get those from Vacation Grocery Delivery delivered, or you bring them in, with you if you drive, even if you fly, probably. So you save there along with snacks. Mm-hmm. It is, I think we said this last time. It's 11 o'clock, and maybe everybody's getting a little bit hungry as you're waiting in line.
A trail mix snack.
Yeah, you do something like that. You go, you know what? We got a couple snacks. Let's eat a snack because we're going to hold off a little bit, maybe till like 1 or 2 for lunch. One, you're going to beat crowds because they're going to be in that 11 to 1 range for the most part. So you're going to beat some of the crowds. And then 2, you get a little something that didn't cost you technically anything because you brought it in. It'll tide everybody over. Then when you're ready to sit down and eat, everybody's not ready to just gorge themselves.
Yeah, bring them Crustables. For you,
those are the
family.
best.
They are because you can put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then when they start thawing, it's just great.
Yeah. So things like that. Like we said, the free water. You can order kids' meals even for adults.
Yes, you can.
And what's so great about quick service?
Yes. That you just can order the kids' meal. And
doesn't matter. Everyone can order it.
Yep.
Not like, sit-down dining. There are going to be some restrictions on adults ordering kids' meals. A lot of times they're going to maybe serve you the portion, but they're going to charge you an adult price.
Yes, they are.
So here, it doesn't matter. Other thing always we say, look for discounted gift cards.
Yeah.
Places, Target, if you have their red card, the wholesale clubs like Costco and BJ's and I think Price Club,
Price Club.
Sam's Club.
You've said that a couple of
I
times
know.
before.
Sam's Club, places like that.
Yep.
You can get them online. Best Buy has done them before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know that.
these are at discounts. You can find those. Register them at DisneyGiftCard.com.
Yes, absolutely.
If you don't know why, then go listen to a bunch of other episodes. We mention it like every time. All right. Couple quick little fun facts about Epcot dining before we get into our restaurants. Chef de France. It was co-founded by Paul Bocuse, one of the most famous French chefs in culinary history.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that the Mitsukoshi department store in Japan, in the Japan Pavilion, operates the largest collection of authentic Japanese dining and snacks in one place outside of Japan?
Oh, that's really cool. And we buy a lot of stuff
Snacks.
more lately.
Yeah.
We actually got the mochi, and that was eaten up. Like,
Yeah.
it was weird, but
But
everybody
people ended up
they
liking
ate
it. And the candies with the edible wrappers.
Oh, that was
we
weird.
actually
Yeah.
that was strange, but we've been doing that. La Hacienda de San Angel and San Angel Inn serve fresh tortillas that are made on site daily.
Ooh. No wonder they're so good.
Yeah, right? Rhonda, did you know that every 60 days at Beer Garden Restaurant, they are serving a marathon worth of bratwurst because it's about 26.2 miles
Stop it.
of bratwurst every 2 months.
That is a lot.
I wonder what the average...
And then like, how much do they
I'm
throw
you could-
away?
well, I was going to say, I'm sure you could figure out a way to kind of break it down, but I wonder what the average amount that a person puts on their plate is during a trip to Beer Garden.
I want to go back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Jossie, let us know what it is for Nick, and then we'll just put that in half, and that would probably be the average person.
Yeah.
Right? Some ingredients used in Epcot dishes come directly from crops grown in the Land Pavilion's greenhouses, including tomatoes, lettuce, and even the little fish you see swimming around.
I think I knew that, actually.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I like when we go through that part with the fish, I like to name them.
No, you
And then
don't.
later, if I
No.
order fish, I like to be like, oh, hey, Steve.
No. Poor Steve.
At Club Cool, guests like taking the Beverly Challenge. What's what's Beverly,
Well,
Rhonda?
it's disgusting. But apparently,
You just ruined the whole fun of it.
oh,
You're supposed to take people there that has never been, they don't know, and you go, dude, you got to try this Beverly. It is so good. And then you go, I want a video just because of how good it is, and then you watch them make disgusting faces because it is foul.
well, apparently it's a bitter soda from Italy.
Yeah, it's more than bitter. It's got a lot of other stuff going on that is not right. All right, let's get into our dining. What we like to do for each of these is the first one's going to be more of like a kiosk. Yorkshire Fish Company, we love.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think of it. I know it is. There's no indoor dining technically. You can go over to Rose and Crown during the day before 3.
Right.
They have a ton of that outdoor
Yes.
space, but
Yep.
I'm still going to call it a kiosk. So,
Yeah.
you know, when you guys have a podcast, then you can call it something else. But you can call it a regular quick serve. We're calling it a kiosk because this is our show. What are we going to get there? And now here's the thing: they only serve one thing, really, right?
That's right. And that is their beer battered fish and chips.
Yeah.
It is only $13.49, and you can get 2 of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're so one for the adults to split, one for
Right.
the kids to split.
absolutely.
And honestly, at this point, you've just got all this fish, all these chips, so everybody just eat what they want to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can also get a little Cuties Mandarin 3-pack
Yeah.
for $4.19. So $13.49, $4.19. You've got a whole bunch of fish, a whole bunch of chips, some Cuties for fruit. Your total's $31.17.
Yeah, you're way under your budget.
You
of the
really
40,
are.
really.
And
I
this
mean,
is really good food. I mean, Lacey was so excited to come here to get this when we were there for Christmas.
yeah.
They do carry a Harp lager there. 20 ounces is $12.25 if you wanted one of those, and you're at $43.43.
Yeah. So that would take you over a little
over,
budget.
but
you know, 20 ounce
you were
draft there.
under enough.
Yeah, if mom and dad or dad and dad or mom and mom or whoever want to share a 20 ounce beer, they can each have 10 ounces because the kids are getting on their nerves anyway. One thing we forgot to mention at the beginning, if you are a parent of, I don't know, like a 15 and 16-year-old football players, this episode is not geared towards you.
Oh yeah.
Just so you know, this is more for in our case, our two girls who just don't eat a lot. They can easily split and stuff. This is definitely for a little bit more on that kind of child range. This isn't for the teens. If you want us to include adults or teenagers, we can do that in like another round of this some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be more of like those little kids.
Now, moving on from there, we're going to go over to La Cantina de San Angel.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
I believe that is how it is pronounced.
Well, it looks like San Angel.
It's a soft G. It's like the soft J in yogging.
Okay.
Here's what's great about places like this is, same thing over at Pecos Bill. These are big portions.
Yes.
So
they
are
are
very shareable.
Yes.
What we're going to do is we're going to go with 2 entrees.
Yes.
They're going to be splittable. So whether that splits just between the parents and the kids or everybody just gorges on what they want, but we're going to supplement it a little bit. So what are we looking at getting?
So the Arrows bowl with marinated grilled chicken.
Correct. Rice bowl. Yeah.
It's a rice bowl topped with grilled chicken, corn, spicy tomato salsa, pickled onions, queso fresco, and cilantro for $15. And then you get nachos with that also, which is tortillas topped with white nacho cheese, ground beef and beans, tomatoes, jalapenos, and sour cream. And you can add guacamole for $3, and this is $15.50.
So $18.50 if we're adding guac, because we're going to add guac.
We
made sure we budgeted.
We did.
So you can get your guac.
Yeah. So then, because you have 2 nice big ones,
entrees.
Thank you. Then we're going to get 2 sides. We're going to get a side of rice and black beans. So these are $2.99 each.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Carly Wiesel actually said this is a really good,
she'll get rice and beans from here sides.
Yes.
Cost you $6 basically as like a meal.
Yes.
And
so it fills up enough. And it's protein, and it's really good. So anyways.
Yeah, you got starch and carbs and proteins. Like, these are going to fill you up.
Yep.
Even though all you had to do was get 2 entrees.
Yep.
So I don't remember if you said the total.
I did not yet.
We were close to 40.
Yep, $39.48.
Yeah, and if you don't like guacamole, you save another $3.
Yep.
So we do love it here. It has been some time since we've been here. But if you like Pecos Bill, it's pretty much the same food here.
Absolutely.
So you can head over there. All right, next we're gonna move on to a place that we used to frequent very, very often when the girls came with us.
Oh, we did.
Because we could not enter EPCOT without going to Katsura Grill.
That's right.
Right over in the Japan pavilion there.
Yep.
So this is cool because they have like prepackaged sushi, that you can get. So this is another one where we're going to take 2 entrees and supplement it. So with the California roll for $12, you get 8 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 pieces per person in your family.
Yeah.
You've got rice in there. So again, a little bit filling. Now, what is the dish that the girls would get every single time? They would split it.
Yes, they would.
And even when they weren't splitting it, I swear, and I know they don't eat a ton, they could get 3 meals out of one of these
just about
for them.
Yeah, so they get the chicken teriyaki, which is served with steamed rice and mixed vegetables for $14.99. If you want some shrimp, you can get actually chicken and shrimp. But of course, the girls never wanted the shrimp.
And the same price.
Yeah, that's really a good.
Which
that's good.
I don't honestly, I don't know if they were offering this a couple of years ago when the girls were going, because we just always got the chicken teriyaki.
Right.
But I kind of want to go back now and try it with the shrimp.
I wouldn't mind either.
Right.
But also something else they did was they doubled the rice and took the mixed vegetables off.
If you would like, yeah.
So, and then Kaylin would always ask for a side of teriyaki.
Mm-hmm.
So she would pour that over her rice. And it was a very large, especially getting rid of the mixed vegetables. And again, if you're kind of hungry, and that really does fill you up.
Yeah. I mean, and we used to, we'd walk in there as the girls got older and they could go off and grab their own thing. We'd walk into Epcot and we'd hand them a $20 bill, and the 2 of them would eat.
Yes.
By splitting this meal.
Yes, they would.
Now, that was back when they could share food because they could sit next to each other without wanting to fight.
Yeah.
And the next you have, let's just say the kids are eating that one, right?
Right.
Like ours would. Then, Rhonda and I or whatever 2 adults could go ahead and split the chicken cutlet curry. This is curry sauce with chicken. This is also served with steamed rice and mixed vegetables. This is $15.99. This would bring your grand total to $42.98. So we are a little bit over budget.
$3.
But you already saved money earlier because you ate the other 2 meals. So you're all set, right? And same thing, like Rhonda said, if you wanted to say, all right, you're basically getting 2 sides of steamed rice and 2 sides of mixed vegetables.
Yeah.
You can play with that however you want, really.
Absolutely.
So if you know that the kids only like rice, and or there's only one person in your family that likes the mixed vegetables, then you get one of them with double rice, one of them with the rice and veggies, or just go all rice, go all veggies, just whatever you want. You can customize it a little bit. Another reason it makes this so good. All right, we are going to move next to the place that I can barely ever say because I get a tongue twist on it. What is it called?
Sunshine.
See, every time I want to say
Sunshine Seasons.
Why is it so hard? I want to say Sunshine Seasons. I can't do it. Yeah, so you can go over to Sunshine Seasons in the Land Pavilion. This is a really great quick service spot that I think flies way under the radar a lot of times.
So. Yeah.
So much that we barely dine here. We've visited here more in probably the last year than we did in the 5 years prior as far as dining goes, because we were hitting festival stuff. And the one time we were there with Scott and Michelle and Greg and John and, all these folks. And last time we went there and sat with John for a while and Susan and all. So that was great. But here, so they have a stir-fried chicken. We actually have done this in the past. This is stir-fried chicken with teriyaki chicken, peppers, onions, pineapple, and a tangy sweet and sour sauce for $12.99. Go ahead and pair that basically with a Mongolian beef that comes with vegetable fried rice for $13.49. In my mind, like I'm eating the beef, you're eating the chicken or something, right? We're each having one of those. Then the kids are going to split an oak grilled rotisserie chicken. This is a half chicken.
Wow.
This is a whole half a chicken. However that works. It is. So, but again, you're talking what? Breast, thigh, wing, leg. The whole thing's there.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot of food, and it comes with the black beans and yellow rice.
That's
all
great.
for $12.99.
That's great.
So this is only going to top you out at $38.77.
Yeah. Well, there's almost your extra money for Katsura.
Yeah, there you go. For your what do you think out of the 4? We'll talk about the bonus table service here just in a moment. I think that Sunshine Seasons is possibly the best value out of all the ones we went through.
Yeah, probably.
And they have other items that fall around these price ranges.
Which
you know
is
what I mean?
great.
So I think you're getting a really good variety here. The prices are about as low as quick service comes, and the portions are great when you're getting things like vegetable fried rice with the beef or black beans and yellow rice. Again, these are filling.
Yep.
You've got protein and carbs and these starches and all. So
and I hate to say it, they're cheap too.
They are.
So it's cheap to make and cheap to serve.
Yeah,
so
I know. That kind of helps, right?
That kind of does.
So yeah, and plus those chickens were just swimming over in Living with the Land just minutes prior.
Chickens were swimming.
Yeah, they were swimming.
Okay.
All right. We're going to do a bonus table service. We're going to do these 4 meals, 4 people, for $80.
Yes, because it does cost more when you sit down. It always does.
It does. And
so we doubled it.
Yeah, and so now, if you are truly looking for the best value for your money, you are going to do all you care to enjoy.
Yes.
Right? You're going to do a beer garden. You're going to do a garden grill.
Correct.
But your price for a family of 4, especially if your kids are over 10, is probably going to run you around $200.
Yeah.
And that's just cost. That's not any sort of tip or whatever.
That's right.
At least that amount of money.
Yep.
So those are off the table as far as this goes.
Right.
I had an idea in my head of which place I thought we should choose. I didn't say it out loud. I said, Rhonda, what do you think is the best sit-down value at EPCOT?
9 Dragons.
And I wholeheartedly agree.
Yep. And he's like, oh, wow, that's the same one I was thinking of. So
we were sitting out on the couch. We were doing the notes and all, and Kaylin was sitting there watching some YouTuber. And then that got the best of me, so I started looking up different YouTubers and what they make, and then I almost threw up. So I was like, well, I'm not going to look at that anymore. But if YouTube had been around 30 years ago, I'd have gotten started on it.
You probably would
have
have
gotten started on it. So anyway, as Rhonda said, 9 Dragons, Kaylin even looked over and she goes, oh, I love that place. And I was like, girls used to love it.
They did.
So a couple reasons this is great. Let's be honest. Asian food, usually, like if you go to your local Chinese takeout, it is ridiculous amounts of food all the time.
Yep.
You know, talk about fitting 20 pounds of you-know-what in a 10-pound bag. Like, I swear, portions are always giant, right? Like, you open, you got that little container. Like, it comes every time. The side of white rice comes, right? And I look at it, and I'm like, every time I get that little package, it's like Zoolander. And he's like, what is this? House for ants or whatever it was, that part? Like, I'm like, who is this going to feed? And then you open it, and it will feed 48 people.
It reminds me of Orbeez. Where
oh, my gosh, yeah.
You, like, when you get it, like, let's say you get it, and you come home, and you're like, all right, let me just put it on a plate. And you put it on a plate, and it just grows.
Orbeez or the Chinese food?
The Chinese food. Okay. The rice.
Right.
It's all smashed.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you went home,
like,
instead of you getting it out of the container, you actually, like, try to make pretend you made it, and you're putting all of it on a plate.
Yeah.
It just
it's
expands.
like it expands. Yeah.
Like it's
like
crazy.
An Orby.
Yeah.
Is it? Are they all called Orbeez? Is one of them called an Orby?
I mean,
I don't think they travel alone. If you don't know what Orbeez are, if you don't have children, you're like, what are these two talking about now? It's Thursday night before this goes out at 6:30. We've had a day of running around and doing all kinds of stuff. So we're just having fun, I think, at this point. But
don't go to Hobby Lobby on the day after New Year's. Holy
smokes.
moly!
90% off their Christmas.
Literally,
stuff.
It reminded me of, for the next 10 minutes, 99% off.
From the Grinch.
Yeah.
It was nuts. In the line. And good work, Hobby Lobby. I know there's a lot of things around Hobby Lobby that, you know, we all aren't going to agree with and people and stuff. But we went in because we're looking for something, and they have cheap stuff, let's be honest. So we walked in, though, and they were actually doing a good job because they had every single register open. Mm-hmm. But the lines stretched all the way into the middle of the store's merchandise. And I
think further than that.
I saw people, I saw ladies with 2 to 3 carts filled and overflowing with stuff. So I said to Ron, I'm like, I assume a lot of them are probably Etsy. They have Etsy shops, which is genius.
Yeah.
You pick up everything you need, what's still left, because it did look like a tornado went through that Christmas section almost.
It kind of did.
You get everything you need for next year at 90% off. You technically just made 90% more money on whatever crafts and stuff you put together and sell next week.
Well, it was super funny because before we went in, you were like, what are they should be giving stuff away? And you jokingly did say it better be 90% off. And it really was. So that was kind of neat.
And there was a $1,000 pre-lit Christmas tree that was like
$100.
9 feet tall that would have been $100. It's nuts.
Yep.
And then right around there was the section if you were going to throw a party where you might have like dragons or something because your kid loves dragons. Speaking of dragons, 9 Dragons at EPCOT is where we're going to dine for 4 people for $80 or under, right?
Yes.
We're going to start off chicken pot stickers there for $10.
So good.
Now, there's 4 of them served.
Aww.
There's 4 of you. How convenient. These are pan-fried chicken dumplings, cabbage, and dumpling sauce. This is the lowest priced appetizer on the menu.
Okay.
One reason we went with it, plus you get the 4 dumplings. So this is the one place we're going to go to, and we're actually going to order 2 kids' meals, one for each of the children.
Nice.
And the reason is, even getting 2 kids' meals, adding those 2 prices together, is still several dollars cheaper than the cheapest adult entree that they could split.
Oh,
so you're saving the money there, right?
Yep.
You're going to do a crispy honey chicken served with egg fried rice for $11.
Yummy.
Sweet and sour shrimp served with lo mein noodles for $12. So $23 for the both of those.
Nice.
You're not
Very
getting an
nice.
entree for that price.
No, absolutely.
Now, the adults are going to split something.
Ooh.
We had this.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It is the smoked duck fried rice. Now, this is smoked duck breast, egg fried rice, hoisin sauce for $35.
Mm-hmm.
If you were worried that might not fill up the 2 adults, then you can go ahead and add some Haigal shrimp dumplings off the appetizer menu. These are steamed shrimp dumplings, pumpkin puree, chili oil, and truffle sauce for $12. A lot of the reasons we decided to add that as well is because if you add everything we just talked about, Rhonda, what is the grand total?
$80
On the dollar.
Yay.
So you could technically, if you wanted, because this smoked duck fried rice we split last time.
Yes,
it is
did.
a hearty portion.
Yes, it is.
So you could even save $12 off of that. Eat 4 people, $68 before tax and tip at Nine Dragons. Everybody's going to be full. Everybody's going to be happy. Nine Dragons, the reason we don't go there often is not because it isn't good. It's because we can get it anywhere.
Yes.
It's not like going to Morimoto Asia.
Correct.
That is a completely different style, experience, quality, everything, right? Pricing.
Right.
Nine Dragons is great. It's the food you're familiar with at home. If you've ever had Chinese takeout.
One of the basics we should probably get back to.
What?
Nine Dragons.
Nine Dragons, I agree completely. Well, it's one of those that I keep, like, it'll pop up, and I'm like, we should just go eat there. And then, for some reason, I just don't do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that is it for this one. We will, of course, cover next episode that we do this, which will not be as long as the last one. We'll probably do it in maybe 2 weeks' time or something.
Okay.
We'll cover Hollywood Studios. About 2 weeks later, Animal Kingdom. And then we're actually going to do one at Disney Springs, which will be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun.
If you want to hear all of this and a lot coming up, we still need to sit down and finish some planning. We're already planning January, February, March through April, pretty much, of our trips. We got some cool stuff coming up. So if you want to hear about that, you got to subscribe. You get those brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. If you want to see it as it happens, follow us on social at MainSTMagic. And if you are ready for that next trip, of course, no matter where you want to go, our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. And after you have done all that, Rhonda and I would be so very thankful if you could please go leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.